Going to start out with this document. What you're looking at is a patent for the original cotton gin by Eli Whitney. We can see some writing in here. Some of it we can't see. Eli Whitney, cotton gin. We have a date of 1794, and we have a diagram. What a patent is, it's a legal document which protects your idea. So if I invent something brand new and I think I can make a lot of money on it, I would apply for a patent. You get them from the United States government. And if you get your patent, what that means is no one can steal your idea. No one can make that product for a set amount of time period. Usually it's 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere in there. So this is his original patent. Here was the deal with the cotton gin. Before the cotton gin, it was difficult to make a profit from cotton because cotton seeds were removed by hand. So this is a picture of what raw cotton looks like once it's picked off the plant. You can see in the picture there's thorns and there's seeds. So what had to happen, cotton, its main use is to be turned into cloth for clothing. What someone had to do is they had to go through and by hand they had to pick out these seeds and thorns, and it was extremely time consuming. So according to this, it said it took one person an entire day to clean 1 pound of cotton. That's what they called it, cleaning the cotton. Then Eli Whitney comes along, and this isn't his exact machine. This is a later version. But what he does is he paves the way. So with this machine, you would feed the cotton, the raw cotton, in one end, and you have this crank over here, and you would turn it, and it would feed it into the machine. And there was a series of rollers and wire brushes. And what those wire brushes would do, it would separate the cotton from the seeds. So the cotton would come out the back end of the machine, and the seeds and thorns and all the bad stuff that you don't want just falls down. So cleaning the cotton. Um, and this was a game changer for the South. It reads plantation owners now began to earn a lot of money growing cotton, causing so before this, not many plantation owners or even farmers in the South grew cotton because you couldn't make a ton of money off of it because it took so much time to pick those seeds. But now that we have a way to clean the cotton, more people are interested in growing cotton, but they're going to need to purchase and depend on slaves more because they can grow more and more cotton, so you need slaves in the field planting and maintaining and picking the cotton. So once we have a cotton gin, we have a machine that makes it so you can make more money on cotton. Because of that, a lot of southern farmers switch and start growing cotton, but they need slaves, so they buy slaves to grow and harvest the cotton. And this shows it graphically. So 1790, this is before the cotton gin. In green, we have national cotton production and bales, and you can't even see much because no one was really growing cotton. But then Eli Whitney and the cotton gin was around 1796. So let's fast forward about 30 years. The amount of slaves has nearly doubled, and we're starting to see more cotton production. Then 1820, it's really catching on. We're almost to 2.5 million slaves, and we've tripled our cotton production. And then by 1860, we're nearly to 4 million slaves, and cotton production is literally through the roof. Remember, this is the magic year. We're right where you see my cursor. This is before the cotton gin. This is after. Okay, by 1850, the United States is growing 75% of the world's cotton. Ironically, once they grew it, they didn't do anything with it except ship it. They shipped it to the north because that's where all the factories were. They call those textiles. We'll talk a lot about that. So the northern states were buying the southern slave cotton and turning it into textiles and then clothing. So 1850, we're pushing 4 million enslaved people, many of whom were working on the cotton plantations. And this last thing that I'm going to show you here, this is just where we saw the highest concentrations of slaves. And this seems to be kind of ground zero in South Carolina. We see other areas across Alabama, kind of along the Mississippi River. So what we can take, little places in Virginia too, what we can take away from this map is that the areas where you see greater than 10,000, these are areas where it was really easy to grow cotton, the weather, the soil, etc. So therefore, because it's easier to grow cotton, or it's easier to grow cotton, we see higher concentrations of slaves there.